So what even is this whole social media manager thing, and how does one master it? I mean, it's such a new industry and one that is already ever changing as far as trends and algorithms go and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you guys, if I have to hear the word algorithm one more time, but really, how does one even know if they're doing a good job and what the job even entails? It's kind of a mystery. But here's the deal. Our social media agency turns a whopping 5 years old this year. And although much has changed as far as the technical aspect of the job, there are some things that we've implemented that have helped us to survive a pandemic, launch a podcast, a digital university, a YouTube channel, that have helped us to grow exponentially, financially, expand from 1 person to 7 people. And those are the tactics that I want to be able to share with you. These are timeless tactics that have made a big difference for us over the last 5 years. So make sure that you watch to the very end of this video to hear all about these tactics that have helped to set us apart. Let's dive in to the ins and outs of this new exciting profession called social media management. I want to start by giving you a baseline definition of what a social media manager actually is and what some of you might think it is, because the two are very different. The job description is going to look different depending on who you're working for or what the project is. But generally speaking, a social media manager will, number 1, develop social media strategies for clients with their knowledge of the social media platforms in mind. Number 2, this person will plan content according to that strategy. Number 3, this person will create and post the content. And then lastly, this person will use analytics to assess performance and determine whether or not the strategy was effective. The other part of this I should mention is that what you see online as far as what a social media manager does is not always accurate. Sometimes it's glamorized, and honestly, you guys, I've been a social media manager for 5 years now, and I've trained over 500 individuals to do the same. This has enabled me to transition from social media manager to agency owner, but I've been able to live on the other side and actually experience what it's really like, and it's not as glamorous as you think. But with the right things in place, I believe you will be successful. So here are the 5 tips to help you see the same success on your journey. Number 1, you're going to want to develop a strong understanding of all the social media platforms. This includes Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you name it. Social media management would probably be a good path for you if you're already on these platforms and you use them often and you understand how to use them. Walking into this profession with a good grasp on what each platform does will make all of the difference. But if you're not, don't let that stop you. If you want to be a social media manager and you're not on all of these platforms, that's okay. Just start an account and start figuring them out. Taking notes of all the things that you see while you are engaging and interacting as a user on these platforms. Ask yourself some of these questions. How does one post on this platform? What should my profile look like? And what should it say to get as many eyes on it as possible? What is trendy right now for this platform? What's the demographic of this platform? And how can my content be effective in speaking to them? How many hashtags are people using on this platform? And how will this meaningfully affect performance as I learn how this platform operates? Most importantly, the question you're going to want to ask if you're new to a platform is, what advantages do I see for a business to be on this platform? Because at the end of the day, that's what you need to know to get clients. How is it going to help somebody else's business? And just to be clear, you don't have to be an expert on every platform. For example, I'm still wrapping my mind around Pinterest, and it's not necessarily a service that we are selling to our clients, but I need to know the basics of how it works. Here's my recommendation. Pick 2 or 3 to focus on heavily, and these are going to be the platforms that you recommend to your clients. Too much too soon will lead you to overpromising and under-delivering on your client's behalf. The next thing that you need to do as a timeless tactic is develop a strong personal brand. If clients are going to trust you to deliver branded content to their audience, you need to show them that you understand what a brand is. That understanding needs to be reflected in your own website and your own social media presence. And yes, let's just get straight to it. You need a website. You can make one really easily on Wix. And side note, if you get really good at building websites like we did, you can actually make this a service to offer clients. We've built upwards of 100 websites on Wix, ranging anywhere from $3,500 to $5,500 per website that we build. You can do this too. But before you build a website, sit down and make some design choices. Be intentional. Pick a color scheme, fonts, and other design elements, and then stick to them. And guess what? We have a free Start Your Own Social Media Business checklist and guide that goes into great detail about all of this. The link to get that is in the description of this video. Go download it like now. Make sure that you create all of your content for social media with your design elements in mind. And this will naturally result in a cohesive, beautiful brand that your clients will want for themselves. Your content will do the selling for you. Next, you're gonna wanna stop, collaborate, and listen. It was true for Vanilla Ice, and it's true today. When you work with a client, you need to cast aside your assumptions that you have and make sure that you are reaching their objectives. Listen to them and don't assume what they want out of their social media presence. Every client is different. Not every client wants to go viral. Not every client wants to increase sales. Not every client wants more feet and more foot traffic in the door. Especially recently at our agency, I've been interacting with clients who actually want the opposite. They want business that is steady, but for a lot of them, after coming out of a busy season, they are not in a place to take on a ton of new clients at the same time. But what they do want is to consistently show up on social media nonetheless. So don't assume that everybody wants this floodgate open of new clients. Some clients also just want an increased brand awareness. Maybe they're not trying to necessarily sell anything specific. They just want to make sure that their name is out there as an industry leader. Moral of the story, don't assume anything with your clients. And when you learn what your client actually wants, ask them if they have any specific ideas they would like you to execute, or just invite them to provide input and suggestions as often as possible. You need this collaboration to succeed. Your client is putting a lot of trust in you, so reminding them that you're working alongside them will go a long way in terms of fostering a long-term business relationship. They will see you as a partner, somebody on their team, somebody that is equal. And just note this real quick. If your client gives you feedback that you just weren't hoping for, what is it you're supposed to say? You're supposed to say, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Be flexible and not defensive. Try your best not to take it personally and work with them to arrive at a solution together. Honestly, you guys, start to take feedback as a gift. People who can do that have an incredible superpower. The next timeless tactic you need, have systems and processes in place that make it easy to work with you and that make you look professional. I spoke all about this in a recent video, go watch it. So I won't go into a ton of detail about this, but I will link that video in the description so that you can watch. The reason I bring it up again and again is because it's genuinely so important. Your client is going to expect for you to have a protocol for things: onboarding, setting up meetings, payment, invoicing, content editing and approval. Anything and everything that you can think of. The more systemized you can be, the more professional that you are. There's no bigger turnoff than when you see that a social media manager handles things haphazardly and without a professional process. This really gives like a yucky feeling that the person could potentially be mishandling your accounts and that they lack the strategy, and lack of strategy equals no return on investment. And what is literally every single business owner thinking about all day long? ROI, return on investment. Make sure that they can see the value and the return they are getting from working with you. Also, don't make your client jump through hoops, right? Find services and products and systems that make it easy to work with you from start to finish. People don't like friction, so try to minimize the friction for your customer. Real quick, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate it. I would be so grateful if you took like 2.5 seconds to pause, go like this video, and leave a comment about literally anything. Okay, so the next thing that you need to do, look at your analytics, but don't let your analytics define you. Here's the deal. There's a lot of tools out there that enable you to get a comprehensive view of your account's performance. But you want to use these tools to determine whether your strategy is working and has been effective. Make sure that you remind yourself and your clients that it's pretty rare for an account to blow up overnight. Growth is usually steady and comes with consistency over a long period of time. A lot of people assume that just because it's digital and it's social media, that everything happens immediately, but that's just not the case. So make sure your clients know this so that you do not overpromise and underdeliver. Nobody likes that. Make sure you set the time expectations early on in the conversation with your clients. Use your analytics as a tool to guide you what type of content to create, what time should I post, but don't obsess. It'll take your eyes off of the more important things like content creation. Okay, so this tip is a bonus. You need to learn as a social media manager to embrace challenge and rejection. Here is the truth. Just because social media is fun and new and exciting doesn't mean that it doesn't come with its fair share of challenges, and you will have hard days and hard seasons. That's just the reality of it. You'll run into challenges, but do not let that stop you, friend. In this job, you will work with a lot of different people and personalities, and not every personality is going to mesh with yours, and that is okay. Trust me, I'm a recovering people pleaser. I am walking this path with you. Not everyone is going to understand the value of your work and expertise, and furthermore, you're just not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You just won't be. You physically can't be. It's impossible to please everybody, and that is okay. So if someone tells you no, or they undermine the work that you do, take one on the chin and move on. Don't do anything rash, right? Don't be impulsive. Do not burn bridges. That is a huge piece I want you to take away from today. Just look ahead and focus your business on the future. Because here's the deal. Even when it's hard, it's worth it to be creating lasting impact in your creative career. When you can take feedback, or when you can get a thick skin because the word no doesn't scare you anymore, you become incredibly powerful. Every challenge for me is a practice exercise or a test to help me get to the next level. The harder the challenge, the stronger I'm getting. And so I've learned to embrace challenge over the years. And honestly, challenge isn't bad, you guys. It's good. We've been taught to recoil at discomfort, but really if you lean into it, you approach it boldly, this can become incredibly purposeful for you as a social media manager and somebody looking to grow your business. So put that one on your plate and eat it, or is that how it goes? Either way, thank you so much for tuning in today. And remember, please go leave any question or comment under the sun about social media management in the comments. You have my absolute word that I will respond to those in a customized form to get all of your questions answered. The harder the question, the more excited that I get. Also, make sure that you tune into one of these additional super helpful videos and click the link in the bio to download your free social media manager guide. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so very much. Until next time.